Welcome, Divine Mandate. God won't let people get away with everything, and some of them are very close to finding out the hard way. That's the truth that hangs over the lives of all chosen ones like a quiet warning that most people don't hear. But you know it. You've seen it happen over and over, people pushing you, provoking you, and planning behind closed doors as if they can change your fate. What they don't know is that the moment they go after you, they're signing up for consequences they're not ready for. Studies show that people who think they can control others often don't realize how much spiritual, emotional, and even practical harm will come back to them. And when it comes to a chosen one, the backlash doesn't just knock, it breaks the door off the hinges. It's funny how a lot of these people act like they're the stars of a movie you didn't audition for. They make up drama that you never asked for, practice speeches that no one asked for, and act like your downfall is the plot twist they're working on. In the meantime, God is watching them and thinking, are you sure about this? Do you really want to go this way? Heaven doesn't change its mind about a chosen one's purpose, though. There is no spiritual deal. No, let's talk about it. No, maybe they didn't mean it when they crossed that line. All that's left is the fallout. And here's what makes it even worse. You are the last person they should mess with, not because you're confrontational at all, but because your whole life is spiritually wired. Your growth threatens their lack of progress. Your strength shows how weak they are. Your fate shakes up the darkness they're used to living in. And every time they try to hurt you, they accidentally turn on the protection they think you don't have. But the real suspense is that they believe they're winning. They believe their plans are working. They think you don't know. Heaven is quietly changing the battlefield in your favor, making sure that the people who thought hurting you would be free of charge will have to pay for it. So, get ready, because what they're trying to do to you is about to change in a way that protects you and teaches them a lesson they'll never forget. They may have bad plans, but you can change your fate. By the end of this, they'll know something they should have known from the start. You're not just chosen, you're also protected. First, they thought you were weak because you were calm. People who come after you never get the one thing that makes you spiritually untouchable. You're calm because they're used to dealing with loud, angry, insecure people. They think you're weak when you don't panic, argue, or fight back right away. They think you can't see what they're doing. They think you don't know how to protect yourself. They don't know that your calmness is a warning, not a sign that you don't know what's going on. It means you have nothing to prove and nothing to be afraid of. When someone knows the outcome is already decided long before the battle starts, they're calm, and this is where their mistake gets dangerous. They see your stillness as a sign that they can push the limits. They take away your peace and try to mess it up. They try to take away your patience. They use your lack of response against you. But being calm doesn't mean you don't have power. It means that you've already been supported by something bigger. Your calmness is proof that you are safe spiritually. And as soon as they try to take advantage of that, they face consequences they can't avoid. People don't like it when you're calm because it takes away their power. They can't read someone who doesn't do anything. They can't control someone who doesn't get involved. They can't scare someone who doesn't move. You don't feed their ego, their drama, or their fears, which makes them even more desperate. They do dangerous things to get a reaction from others. But when people are desperate, the truth always comes out. They needed your chaos to feel safe, and when you don't give it to them, they lose their plan. This is why their plans never work out. They think you're weak, so they attack you. But God uses your calmness to show that the fight isn't yours. They think you're not fighting back, but the fight is already going on in a place they can't see. The result never goes their way. Your calmness is not a sign of weakness. It is proof that they are already on their way to losing, because they didn't understand who they were dealing with. Number 2, they're fighting someone who has already made it through what was meant to kill them. People who are after you have no idea what they're getting into. They see how you move, how you deal with stress, and how you stay calm today. And they think they can break you. They think they're the first ones to put pressure on you, the first ones to test you, and the first ones to challenge you. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know about the battles that tried to kill you long before they ever got there. They don't know that they're going after someone who has already made it through storms that were supposed to end your whole story. You didn't just get through those seasons, you learned it from them, got stronger, and came out with a kind of strength that most people never learn. That's why their attacks don't work the way they want them to. You are not weak. You don't get upset easily. You've been through times in your life when it was easier to give up than to breathe, but you kept going. They think they're weak, but they are actually wise. What they think is fear is really holding back. What they think is weakness is actually victory that doesn't need to shout. They are coming into the ring late, not knowing that you have been in much worse fights than this one, and you didn't just live. You changed. The truth is that you are dangerous to them even if you don't mean to be. A person who has survived destruction is not someone who can be scared, manipulated, or spiritually trapped. You've seen worse things. You've been through worse. That means their plans don't work. Fear doesn't live in you the way it does in them. So their attempts to scare you don't work. You already know how to handle stress. So their attempts to stress you out don't work. They're trying to hurt someone who has already learned how to rebuild themselves. And this is where things start to change. They get scared when they realize they can't break you. They don't know why their plans don't work. They don't get why you get better so quickly. They don't know that God didn't keep you alive for no reason. You lived through what was meant to kill you, which means that whatever they have planned has already lost before it even starts. 3. Your fate is set in stone, and touching you breaks a spiritual agreement. People who want to mess with your life always forget one important thing. Your destiny is not random, it's planned. There were jobs, protections, and divine instructions linked to your name before you even got here. You aren't just living your life, you are fulfilling a purpose that was agreed upon in the spiritual realm, long before anyone decided to envy or target you. So when someone comes after you, they're not just messing with a person, they're trying to break a spiritual agreement that they weren't invited to, and as soon as they cross that line, they set off consequences that are bigger than anything they could have thought of. God doesn't act so strongly on your behalf because you need saving. He does it because He can't change your purpose. Some people's destinies only affect them, while others affect their whole family. Yours is different, though. It affects generations, places, and divine timing. Heaven doesn't take it lightly when someone tries to get you off track. They're not just messing with your feelings, your confidence, or your progress. They're messing with something that has effects on a lot of other things as well. That's why judgment comes down on them so quickly and accurately. They tried to change something that wasn't theirs to change. This is also why some people fall apart after they go after you. Their relationships end, their chances dry up, their peace goes away, and their stability crumbles and they never know why. It's not because you swore at them or did something bad to them. It's because they got into a fight with a divine contract that automatically makes them follow it. There are rules in the spiritual world, and when someone breaks a rule that affects your future, they are punished harshly. It's even more ironic that most of them think what they're doing isn't hurting anyone. They think they're just talking behind someone's back, undermining, manipulating, or ruining things. But to heaven, it's interference, pollution, and blockage, and anything that gets in the way of a chosen one's path is a target for removal. That's why you stay safe even when you feel like you're the only one. Your fate is supported, your purpose is set in stone, and no one can touch what God has already said is okay. 4. Their obsession with you is not healthy. It shows that they are spiritually weak. When someone becomes strangely obsessed with a chosen one, it's not about you. It's about what they feel when you're around. Your energy shows them what they've been hiding from themselves for a long time. Your confidence shows how insecure they are. Your strength shows how weak they are. Your growth makes their lack of progress stand out. And since they don't have the guts or maturity to face those parts of themselves, they put all that discomfort on you. Their obsession isn't admiration going wrong. It's a spiritual weakness that is coming to the surface and begging for attention. Some people watch you more closely than they watch their own lives for this reason. They watch what you do, think about what you do, guess what you want to do, and make up stories about you in their heads. They follow your progress as if it were their job. The truth is that they aren't trying to understand you. They are trying to figure out why they feel so small when they're around you. You do something that messes up the identity they've made. They feel like they're pretending more when they're around you. And instead of working on themselves, they pick you as their emotional target. They would never say it, but they're scared, not by what you have, but by who you are when no one is looking. They're scared by your inner strength. Your realness goes against their fantasies. Your light shines on their dark places, and because they can't handle the truth, they act in unhealthy ways, like being jealous, gossiping, competing, making subtle attacks, pretending to be friendly, or being outright hostile. Their obsession gets worse because they can't control you. They can't make you feel insecure like they do. They can't make you feel bad about yourself. You don't have to make yourself smaller to make them feel better, and that loss of power makes them even more obsessed. But here's the twist. Their obsession doesn't make you weaker. It makes them weaker. Every strange reaction, every attempt to bring you down, every secret plan, and every outburst of jealousy is a sign of their spiritual state. The more they think about you, the more they show how unstable, insecure, and spiritually malnourished they really are. Their obsession is their confession. They think they're watching you, but in reality, they're showing themselves one action at a time. 5. They don't know you're the last person. Grace warns before judgment moves. When people try to hurt a chosen one, they don't know that they're dealing with someone who is on a higher spiritual level. God gives warnings, some of which are clear and some of which are not, but you are often the last person to get them before judgment begins. Your enemies think they have time to plan, or sabotage without any consequences. They think that what they're doing is hidden, or that heaven hasn't seen it. But that's exactly what they fall into. When they finally see how wrong they were, the correction is already in motion, and grace has already reached its limit. After that, it's not about bargaining or being nice anymore. It's about making sure the rules are followed. Grace doesn't let people mess with you forever. It protects the chosen one until the natural consequences of someone's actions show up. When someone keeps crossing you and their plans get bigger and their attacks get worse, it's not just luck or coincidence. It's proof that the warnings were sent. Heaven has been watching everything, and you've stayed calm, patient, and standing up. And now, for those who won't listen or change, judgment is no longer just a thought. It's going to happen. This is why people who want to hurt you often have a sudden and mysterious breakdown. They thought the doors would close, but they didn't. Without warning, relationships fall apart, opportunities go away. Things that seemed safe all of a sudden slip through their fingers. It's not luck, in a casual way. It's not karma. It's the direct result of crossing someone who is already protected by God. What they did to you has set off reactions that are way beyond their understanding. And those reactions will always be in line with the law of divine justice. You have a presence that shows the line between God's patience and His correction. They aren't just going after a person. They're going after someone whose grace has been carefully measured. They never saw the effects of crossing that line coming, and by the time it happens, their disbelief only makes things worse for them. They thought they couldn't be touched, but they were just playing with the last warning before judgment comes. And for them, there is no way to go back. 6. Your spirit carries a mirror, and their attacks only show what will happen to them. People who come after you never realize that what they do doesn't show you. It shows them. Every attack they make says something about who they are, what they want, and how they are spiritually. Your presence acts like a mirror, not because you're trying to show anything, but because chosen ones naturally hold truth. And when someone with hidden motives tries to hurt someone who is on the side of truth, their true identity comes out by accident. You don't have to say anything for them to show you who they are. This is why their actions get more unpredictable the longer they focus on you. They start with small jabs, then they get more jealous, then the jealousy gets loud. After that, the lies come out, and eventually, their actions become so clear that even people who never paid attention start to notice. They think they're being smart, but they're actually making a public record against themselves the whole time. Their actions stop being crimes and start being confessions. They try to hide behind manipulation and looks, but when you target a chosen one, everything that was hidden comes to the surface. The funny thing is that most of them think they're revealing something about you, like your flaws, your past, your weaknesses, or your choices, but nothing about you comes out. Instead, their insecurity, evilness, jealousy, and darkness become clear. They bring about their own downfall by showing their plans in ways they never meant to. Your spirit doesn't fight them. It just shows them what they are. And what scares them the most about that reflection is the truth about who they are. This is why God lets some people show themselves slowly. It's not to make you feel bad. It's to help them. If they keep attacking you, even after seeing their own behavior get worse, the spiritual world sees it as a declaration. What they did to you doesn't seal their fate. What they showed you about themselves through their actions does. They thought they were attacking someone who wasn't protected, but all they did was reveal their own spiritual punishment. The moment you show up and expose what they've been hiding from everyone, including themselves, is when their downfall begins. They don't realize how important your name is in the spiritual world. Most of the people who want to hurt you don't know who you are, at least not in a physical sense. Your name matters, and not because of your money, status, or popularity. It means something because heaven knows who you are. Your name is linked to tasks, successes, blessings, and changes that affect future generations. When someone says your name in the spiritual world, it gets their attention. Angels move, protection kicks in, and paths open or close based on what is needed. So when someone talks badly about you, plots against you, or tries to hurt you, they are unknowingly entering a place where your name has more power than theirs. That's why their plans don't often work out the way they want them to. They believe that everything they do is happening in the dark, where no one can see or hear it. But the truth is that your name can't be changed without consequences. The spiritual world responds to every plan that has your name in it. No matter how they say it, whisper it, text it, or plot it in secret, your name is watched over by God. Heaven does not take lightly any attack that has your name on it. They think you're normal, which is their biggest mistake. They think you don't have any support, protection, or identity. They don't get that the spiritual world knows exactly who you are. Even when you doubt yourself, feel small, or are still figuring out your purpose, your name has already been set long before you became the person you are now. And those who try to bring you down are up against something they can't beat, outsmart, or escape. And this is where they start to fail. The spiritual world sees it as a violation when they use your name for bad reasons. They say they are an enemy, and those who oppose a chosen one always end up paying a bigger price than what they did. They didn't just attack you, they also attacked the divine identity that your name is linked to. When your name is involved, heaven steps in with an accuracy that can't be negotiated. Number 8. They think that your forgiveness means they can do what they want. One of the most dangerous things people do when they go after a chosen one is think that forgiving someone means being weak or agreeing with them. They think they can keep going because they see you letting things go, not getting angry, and moving on without holding grudges. They don't get that forgiving someone is a deliberate choice to stay clean, save your energy, and let God deal with the dirt. It doesn't mean that someone can keep stepping on you. When someone thinks that your forgiveness is permission, they are opening up a spiritual truth that they will regret. What you forgive in your heart doesn't go unnoticed in the world that controls fate. Forgiveness keeps you clean, but it also sets you up for divine correction. People don't always realize what happens when someone crosses a chosen one over and over. Heaven doesn't care if you're angry. It reacts to wrongdoing and unfairness. If someone crosses the line after you've already forgiven them, it stops being a problem between people and becomes a problem between the violator and God. Their deeds are recorded in a spiritual way. Their goals, reasons, and determination are all noted, and once they reach that point, there is no way to avoid the consequences, which are exact, unavoidable, and often permanent. It's ironic that people who think they're testing your patience are actually showing you their own fate. Every time they go too far, they make their case against them stronger. They think you don't know about their plans, but your forgiveness shows that you do and that you are in charge. They think you're harmless, but forgiveness isn't about being passive. It's about putting yourself above the fray, while the spiritual world catches up with their carelessness. It's too late by the time they figure out they read you wrong. What they thought was mercy is really a shield, and what they thought was weakness is actually the sign that God is about to respond. Forgiveness is not a license, it is a safeguard, and every time they break the law again, they speed up the very punishment they were trying to avoid. People who don't get this end up with results they can't control, and they are wrong to think they can control someone who has been chosen and protected from the top down. Number 9. They want you gone because you break up their darkness. Some people become obsessed with taking a chosen one down for a reason that isn't personal. It's existential. Your presence alone makes them feel uncomfortable in the dark places they've built for themselves. For years, they've lived in lies, manipulation, fear, and laziness, carefully building a world where they can feel safe without having to face the truth. Then you show up calm, determined, and unstoppable, and all of a sudden, all the cracks in their facade are impossible to miss. Your life shines a light on everything they don't want to fix, everything they try to hide, and everything they're scared to face. That light scares them more than any words could ever say. When people attack you, they don't just want to shut you up, they want to erase the good example you set. Your bravery, honesty, and clarity show how mediocre they are. Your growth shows how stuck they are. Your focus shows how disorganized they are. And the worst part for them is that your progress shows that what they've been avoiding isn't just visible, it's fixable. You're proof that someone can do it. That exposure makes them want to do anything. They don't just want to hurt you, they want to get rid of the image of what they could have been if they had made different choices. This is why their attacks are so persistent and sometimes very mean. They aren't just fighting you, they're also fighting against the truth you stand for. They try to control, sabotage, scare, or gaslight you in the hopes that if they can get rid of you, they can go back to feeling safe. But they don't know that they can't erase your existence. You can't get rid of your purpose. You are meant to cause trouble in their darkness, and that is safe. Every time they try to get rid of you, they end up showing more of themselves. People can see their fear, jealousy, and desperation. They think they're hurting you, but they're really hurting themselves. And as they fall apart under the weight of their own darkness, you keep going forward, unharmed, and fully in line with what God put you on this earth to do. The fact that they want you gone shows that your life is too important to ignore. 10. They're trying to change a story that was already written in heaven. People who go after a chosen one never stop to think about how hard it is to do what they want. They believe they can change outcomes, bend the rules, and change the course of events. But your story was written long before anyone knew who you were. Heaven doesn't write with a pencil, it writes with ink. Someone decided to get involved long after your path. Your breakthroughs, your victories, and even your problems had all been written down, approved, and protected. Every attack they make, every plan they come up with, and every attempt to stop you is an attempt to change something that was already set in stone. And the universe has a way of dealing with those kinds of runs. When people try to control the life of someone they have chosen, they are basically starting a fight that they can't win. Their interference sets off things they can't see, like events, coincidences, and reversals that bring things back into balance faster than they know. They are fighting against a plan that was made by God. No human plan can change what God has planned. Their plans don't just fail, they often backfire in ways that show what they want and make their own losses worse. Heaven doesn't need your help to keep you safe. It just needs to let the natural consequences happen to people who think they can change a divine story. Their attempts to hurt you are even more dangerous because they often speed up your fate. Every attack, betrayal, and bit of malice aimed at you makes you respond in a way that brings you closer to fulfillment. Their attempts to stop your rise only show you where you are safe, where doors are opening for you, and the strength you've had through seasons they never made it through. They want to write your story, but all they do is become a footnote in your warning to anyone who thinks they can mess with someone who is chosen. The sad irony is that they don't know that they are not only failing, but also helping you. By trying to change a story that was already published in heaven, they show how pointless it is to fight against God's plan. Every plan they make to hurt you just shows that your path is set, your safety is guaranteed, and your fate is unchangeable. They are not the authors. They are the alerts. Number 11. They didn't think your silence was that heavy. One thing about a chosen one's silence is that it always has something in it. People think you're weak, confused, or not sure of yourself when you don't talk. They think that because you didn't say anything, you're not paying attention or don't understand what's going on. But when you don't say anything, it's not because you don't know. It's a warning. It's the calm that comes before a change. It's the time when your spirit gets stronger and their noise shows everything they try to hide. People who don't understand how powerful your silence is always learn the hard way. When a chosen one doesn't say anything, it's not because they don't know what to say. It's because they are thinking, watching, and letting the truth come into the room on its own. You don't have to yell, argue, or fight to be right. The fact that you are alive changes energy. The people who attacked you wanted you to panic, react, or defend yourself over and over again. But instead, you stopped moving. You let them down by not answering on their timeline, which was their plan all along, and that stillness made them lose faith. When someone you care about is quiet, it's not passive, it's powerful. It shows who is lying, what they want, and makes people face what they have done without you having to do anything. They weren't ready for the pressure that your silence caused. They were trying to come up with a story, but the fact that you didn't respond made them crazy. They needed you to be angry to make their actions seem right. They had to see you weak in order to feel strong. They needed an answer to keep the chaos going. Their own actions spoke louder than anything you could have said when they didn't get one. And in the end, the truth came out on its own, without your help. That's the beauty of divine timing. It shows you what you can't see, without you having to say anything. The same silence that they made fun of is the one that scared them. It showed that you were grounded and not scared. It showed them that you know what you're doing and aren't lost. It reminded them that a chosen one doesn't fight with noise. They fight with presence, restraint, and alignment. They didn't know what your silence meant, so they didn't take it seriously. They thought it meant you were weak, but it really meant you were safe and already winning. Number 12. Their attacks aren't random. They're proof that you're getting better. One of the most common misconceptions about being a chosen one is that opposition means you're failing. In fact, it means you're getting better. People who want to hurt you don't see your spiritual growth coming, but they can feel it. They feel it in their jealousy, fear, and sudden need to get involved. The attacks are getting worse. You're getting more desperate, and you're not giving up. All of these things are signs that something in you is changing, growing, and moving up to a higher level. The fact that they're trying to stop you is the best proof that your rank is going up. Before elevation, opposition always gets worse. People who want to hurt you are often the first to notice changes that you are only just beginning to understand. They can tell that you're about to take on new power, clarity, and influence, and since they can't stop it, they act out in crazy, angry ways. Every time they betray you, gossip about you, or try to control you, it's because they can't control their own energy. They know, even if they don't realize it, that your rise will directly affect them, which is why they fight so hard. But in the end, their fight is pointless. This is where the beauty of your job is. No matter how mean or clever their attacks are, they don't stop you from growing. They speed it up. Every challenge makes you change, get stronger, and sharpen your focus. Every time someone tries to stop you from making progress, it makes you more aware and stronger. What they meant to hurt you with is now the thing that proves you are ready to rise. In the spiritual world, their opposition is like a signal flare. It tells heaven that you are ready for the next level, and the forces that are there to protect you respond in kind. It's too late by the time they realize that their attacks only showed how desperate they were and confirmed your rise. You've gotten past the point where they wanted to trap you. What they did to try to stop you only showed the world that you can be stopped. There is never a random reason to oppose someone who has been chosen. It shows what rank you are going to be, and the more attacks there are, the higher the climb. 13. They're messing with you because they don't know what God is going to do with you next. People who come after a chosen one always get it wrong, and their reason is simple. They haven't met the new you yet. They think they're attacking the person they see today, the version they think is weak, predictable, and easy to control. They don't know that the person they're going after is changing in ways they can't understand. Every betrayal, every attack, and every trial you go through is slowly making you stronger, wiser, and more in line with your purpose. They are fighting the you from yesterday, but the you from tomorrow is already getting ready for their defeat. They are dangerous to themselves and not to you because they made a mistake. They think that the same strategy that worked on someone else or the same pressure that broke someone else will work on you. But your evolution is more than just staying alive. It's about changing. You are being changed into a version of yourself that no amount of scheming, sabotage, or manipulation can change. Their lack of knowledge about your growth is what makes them vulnerable. Every time they attack you, it makes your defenses stronger, your clarity sharper, and your spiritual authority stronger. They are scared because you are becoming untouchable in ways they can't see coming. Their fear, jealousy, and anger make you more aligned with them without them even knowing it. Every time someone tries to break you, it makes it easier for you to break through. They believe they have control over your life, but they're actually taking part in the process that will reveal your true self to the world. When they finally see your new version, it will be too late for them to realize how wrong they were about the power of divine preparation. They will have to see a power, wisdom, and influence they never knew existed. And all of their attacks will have only made it happen. Their games were meant to control you, but they ended up showing how unstoppable you were. They no longer think they can play with you. And when God's version of you comes out, everything they tried to control will be useless, and your purpose will shine above all their plans. 14th, they don't get that you're the wrong person to betray. Some people think that betrayal is only a short-term thing. They think it's about getting back at someone, being angry, or taking advantage of them. But when someone tries to betray a chosen one, they're messing with something they can't see. When someone betrays you, they don't just cross a personal line. They also cross into a spiritual space that has already been protected, watched over, and secured by powers that are beyond human understanding. The danger for them isn't what they've done to you. It's what their actions set off against them. They think that betrayal is a small thing that doesn't have big effects. But with a chosen one, it sets off events that can't be stopped. The truth is that your alignment works in a way that is different from most. You forgive, you put up with things, and you get back up. But the universe never forgets. Every time you betray someone, it is recorded not only in your mind but also in the spiritual world around you. That betrayal is like pushing a button that starts things going. The betrayer's doors start to close. People stop trusting them. Chances go away, and things they thought would help them succeed start to fall apart. Their own life starts to look like the chaos they tried to cause in yours. And the funny thing is, they never saw it coming. They thought they were the one who started it, but they were actually the ones who messed up. When someone betrays someone they care about, they also show their deepest truths. No matter how hard they try to hide it, their fear, envy, and insecurity come out. People question their motives, their character, and their place in life becomes less stable. Every time they try to hurt you, they show who they really are, and it's usually not pretty. The worst thing about betraying someone like you is that it doesn't take into account God's timing. The effects might not be felt right away, but when they do, they come with perfect timing, taking away any sense of control they thought they had. Their betrayal leads to their own downfall, and your survival proves that some people were never meant to cross you. They found out too late that the person they tried to betray was the wrong one, and there's no going back. Every attack, betrayal, scheme, and attempt to manipulate a chosen one has effects that go far beyond what the human eye can see. People who want to hurt you don't know that they're not just going after you. They're going against God's plan. Every time they underestimate you, misread your calm, or mistake forgiveness for weakness, they unknowingly put themselves in situations they can't control. Every move they make against you only shows how scared, insecure, and spiritually weak they are, while also proving that you are safe, strong, and destined to rise. They see what they think are problems or chances to break you as stepping stones that help you find your purpose, speed up your destiny, and show how powerful it is to align with divine will. Being a chosen one doesn't mean staying out of trouble or avoiding the world's plans. It means being aware of them, strong, and trusting. It's about realizing that every betrayal, every scheme, and every attempt to bring you down is a sign of the person attacking you, not of your worth. There are forces that measure, monitor, and respond with precision to keep your life safe. They make sure that your path stays clear no matter how hard others try to mess it up. They may think they are in charge, but every attack only strengthens your protection, helps you grow, and confirms your destiny. The same people who try to hurt you end up showing their true selves, while you stay untouchable and on track with a plan that only you were meant to carry out. So keep this in mind. Their jealousy, anger, and plans show how important you are, not how weak you are. Your weapons are your calmness, your patience, and your unwavering purpose. The people who want to hurt you are actually helping you win. Your story can't be stopped. Your name means something, and no one can change your fate if they cross you. If this message moved you and made you feel good, Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss content that protects and strengthens people like you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment below to share your thoughts or experiences, and send this to anyone who needs to know that their purpose is unbreakable. Stay aligned, stand tall, and remember that you are safe, you are chosen, and nothing can stop you from rising. May God bless you.